Well, hello, boys and girls. Here we are back in the basement again. I'm getting a lot of questions about my basement and why am I always there? Well, I pretty much live here all the time. I keep the curtain shut to keep all the evil of the outside away, and I try to make sure that the only thing that permeates in my environment is hockey, um, rum o'clocks, full nap ratios, which I've explained in my previous videos, I'm sure you've seen. I keep, of course, my masseuses I keep strewn about, and NHL hockey. Those, if everything seems okay, the world is fine if you just maintain those simple life practices, I find. Oh, don't forget Nutella baths. Yes, can't forget the Nutella baths. Um, Well, if you don't know who I am, I do um, a constant uh, projections on in the NHL, and if you can go back to my old ones at my NHL Pearls of Wisdom from last year, if you haven't seen them, I don't know why you haven't, but if you haven't, you'll find that I'm fairly accurate in the things that I do, even though I may come off as a little bit crazy. One of the things I did is I did a tribute to Brian Murray. I just did one recently. I highly recommend you check it out. And in continuing with that tribute, I'm going to now do the summer projections and my analysis of the Ottawa Senators. The Ottawa Senators are a team. Last year, I was one of the few teams I was wrong about making the playoffs. This year, I don't know where I'm going to be on this, honestly. Whoever's accurate this year, really accurate about who makes the playoffs, I mean, kudos to them because it's going to be a tough year. But I love the Ottawa Senators because I love small market teams. And this is about the smaller market as you're going to get in the NHL. Brian Murray was a genius with what he did with these guys, as you'll see in my tribute with this team, as you'll see in my tribute when you watch it, and I know you will. But let's go with next year, shall we? Um, they lost Mathot, and the I know this. I've talked to Ottawa fans, and they're pretty distraught about this. I can understand why, but you are a very low budget team. You were probably going to lose Mathot anyways, and the idea of getting trading him off and then losing another player when you don't really have the greatest depth in the world to to um, to them was probably the better option. And you know what? They might have had a point there. It might have been the only thing they could have. It's probably it might have been the best thing that they could have did, and it really didn't seem like it to me either. But the more I think about it, it might have been mostly because your defensive depth is probably your greatest strength. Um, but let's go and yeah, like I said, you don't have much. As I go through this, you'll see you don't really have all that much depth. I was checking out the Hockey News depth charts, and I use that right. I use that for my thing. Look at my my deep analysis. Usually it's a paper bag actually, but they have Zach Smith on the top line and on the top line in the first line, and I like that move. I think Zach Smith still has a lot of offensive upside. I think he's a very underrated player, um, and it's a good spot for him. Putting Turris and Stone with them is it's like the perfect combination. I doubt very much Boucher strays away from this. By the way, Boucher, you can go into my top 10 coaches in the league and you're going to find him there. I would go check it out if I were you. Talk about a brilliant coach. My gosh, is he amazing. Um, Hoffman, Pageau, Ryan. Let's see. Let's hope Ryan can continue what he did in the playoffs. I don't know if there's injury issues or conditioning. There's been questions about his conditioning when he left Anaheim. Get that. Hopefully, he's in the gym well this summer and he keeps that pace up from the playoffs because you're going to need him. I love Pageau as a second line center. I've been calling for that for quite a few years now. He's always had untapped offensive potential. Um, but he is also a very good defensive player, so he can play up and down the lineup. But I like him here on the second line. And this is all the hockey news, so it's pretty impressive. Um, Third, this is where you have a huge strength here, Sens fans. Dzingel, Brassard, and Burrows as your third line. That is an excellent, excellent third line. As far as your top three lines are concerned, you've got really good depth, but it starts to fall after that. I think actually, the hockey news has this MacArthur on that line. I have a feeling MacArthur's going to have to play down his minutes this year, and he's going to play a lot more on the fourth. They have Thompson and Pyatt on that, and I think Thompson will probably be the 13th forward. I have a feeling White is going to steal that spot. Maybe even move up, and Brassard might be in that spot. So your center position isn't bad. The problem you have is after that. There's not much. I could even give you I could give you names, but there's not. There's really not anybody that's ready to play past White. In the right-hand side, you've got Blunden and not much else, and Blunden isn't much else. So your forward depth is going to need some work, but that's not too bad. You can get some. They'll probably bring people in on a tryout and get people off of waivers to fill their lines, fill their bottom depth up. Same as the left, you only have McCormick and Paul, and both of them are pretty much plugs. So they're going to need some help there for sure. Defense, I'll try to make this quick now. Carlson, Ceci, Phaneuf, and Clayson is a great top four. I think Clayson is going to rock this year, and it's one of the reasons why they could get rid of Mathot. Ceci, we'll see. You know what I'm talking about, Ottawa Senators fans. He's good, but I think he can be a lot better yet. Shabbat is the wild card here. He's a rookie. He looks fantastic, but how much is he going to be able to take a whole year in the NHL? It's hard to say. I think he's going to be okay if you put him in the 5th and 6th spot. And down the road, I mean, you're looking at a stud of a defenseman by the looks of it. Boriecki, Boriecki does what Boriecki does. Tough guy. Those are good guys to have on your team. He's one of those guys that's just a good protection, does his job fairly well, can play their fourth line guys, play against the fourth line guys primarily, take your 7 to 10 minutes and grind it out. Not bad. Oduya and then Weidman. Weidman has great possession numbers, so I think you're going to see Boriecki, Weidman go back and forth, and they'll decide what they're going to do with that. As much as Weidman has great possession numbers, his overall game lacks in a lot of areas. I do follow analytics, but I also look at some things that analytics can't pick up. And yes, analytics people, there are some things you can't. And then Harper. Harper is a solid. He's just slow, and again, he'd play in your 5-6 spot. He could move up if he gets his foot speed up there. You never know. But I like that defensive depth, so you're good there. Now, are you going to make the playoffs? You got now Brian Murray situation to feed off of, just like the cancer situation that was going on with Anderson. I don't need to mention the goaltending. Anderson is freaking brilliant, and what's the defenseman they just signed? Oh gosh, I didn't mark it down. Or the goaltender they just signed was an excellent pickup, but I can't remember his name. You're fine there. I don't know. You're a bubble team. I'm rooting for you like crazy. I hope the hell you do. With Boucher, you just never know how far a team can go, but I sure the heck hope you do it. My NHL Pearls of Wisdom. Stay well lubed, boys and girls. My Jaime's Body Lube. It's the best there. I said it. And have a great day. Lots of love to you.